Okay. Good, thank you. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for the 3 o'clock session of our Cleveland City Council. Today being Monday, June 23rd, 3 p.m., and I will ask our clerk to please call the roll.
Mayor Brooks?
Here.
Councilwoman McKenzie?
Here.
Councilman Estes?
Here.
Councilman Cassidy?
Here.
Councilman May?
Here.
Councilman Goff?
Here.
Councilman Webb? Councilman Moore?
Here.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. And as is our tradition, we will begin with the prayer and pledge. I have asked for our fire chief, Chief Bates, to give the invocation after our pledge. But before we pray, if we please have a moment of silence together as we stand. A dear friend of our city, former State Representative Steve Bivens, passed away yesterday. And a very, very good friend of our city for many, many years, and a personal friend and mentor to me for the entire 12 years I was in Nashville. And he will be missed all across this city. The family tells me they are planning a Cleveland celebration of his life service sometime in July, and we will let everybody know when we hear that date. But we'll stand for the pledge and then the invocation and a moment of silence. Salute and pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would bow your heads. Lord, just come to you now, asking you as we come in your presence, Lord, to give us guidance and unity. Father, that decisions that are made today be made very clear to us in which direction that we need to go. God, I pray that you be with each one of these council members today as they try to lead and guide this community. Father, that they have best interests of their constituents at heart. Lord, I just pray that you watch over us and protect us as we go out through the rest of our day. In your son's name I pray. Amen.
Amen. We're going to have a moment of silence for Representative Steve Bivens. Amen. Thank you all. Thank you, Chief, for that invocation. The next item on the agenda is to waive the reading of the minutes from our last regular session on June the 9th.
Mayor, I move that City Council of the City of Cleveland waive the reading of the minutes on the regular session of City Council held on June 9th, 2025, and approve them as written.
That is a proper motion by Councilman May. Is there a second? Properly seconded by Councilman Estes. Any comments, questions, or concerns about those minutes? Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman May.
Aye.
Councilman Estes. Councilwoman McKenzie. Councilman Cassidy.
Aye.
Councilman Goff.
Aye.
Councilman Moore.
Aye.
Carries 6-0.
Mayor, if I could, I'd like to excuse Mr. Webb from this meeting today. Make a motion.
Thank you, Councilman Cassidy. That's a
Second.
proper motion, properly seconded by Councilman Goff to excuse Vice Mayor Ken Webb. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Cassidy.
Aye.
Councilman Goff.
Aye.
Councilwoman McKenzie. Councilman Estes.
Aye.
Councilman May.
Aye.
Councilman Moore. Carries 6-0.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. I know Vice Mayor Webb appreciates that. Thank you, Councilman Cassidy. The next
Thank you,
item on
Mayor.
the agenda is item 5, which is special presentations and public comments. I don't have anyone registered for public comments. Is there anyone in the audience seeking to speak to the council at this time? Please raise your hand. Seeing none, I will go on to item number 6, which is hearing petitions and communications. Item 6A is a public hearing to hear public comments concerning a request by Benny Castillo for consideration of an ordinance to zone 6.65 acres of property at Old Tasso Road, zoning from R2 low-density single and multifamily to now PUD 66, approved by the Planning Commission 7-0. I'll call this public hearing open. Mr. Brownell will hear your report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. This is a PUD request. As stated, it's for single-family detached homes. It goes up a slope and in an effort to design-wise, they had to minimize the lot depth. And in doing so, we went with the PUD. Includes a right turn deceleration lane, as well as some landscaping and sidewalks along the front. The way they've got it designed, those ponds may be in the front, so we're gonna make sure those are screened. Otherwise, it is pretty consistent with a lot of our PUDs, and staff as well as the Planning Commission recommended approval.
Thank you, Mr. Varnell. Would anyone like to speak in favor of this request? Please indicate by raising your hand. Seeing none, and like sign, would anyone like to speak in opposition to this request? If you'll please raise your hand. Seeing none, I will declare this public hearing to be closed. Item B is a public hearing to hear public comments concerning a request by Berry Properties LLC to amend PUD 46 to allow 34-foot wide lot minimums for rear loading lots along Hardwick Way and a minimum lot size of 3,100 square feet, approved by the Planning Commission 6-0 with 1 recused. I'll declare this public hearing to be open. Mr. Barnell, your report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. You all have the report included within your packet, and I'm not gonna go through it in fine detail. This is a request that is a development that was approved as a PUD and built out, or at least this phase of it built out accordingly based on those standards inside the PUD. Applicant then came back and saw the possibility of breaking up those lots. Originally, intention was for them all to be on one lot, which would then forever hold them to be rental properties moving on into the future. When I look at this, I see the benefit of having individual lots for these existing homes. These are all built structures, and I see the benefit from a city's perspective of having individual ownership as a possibility in the future of each lot. The width requirement that we've consistently followed with a lot of these PUDs has been at 46 feet. The last public hearing we just had, that's where that one was. The design within this does give us some, I guess, understanding. It has rear loaded, which means the driveways are not coming off onto the road. We don't have 15 driveway cuts right in a row. There's one, and it's internal easement, privately maintained, that these driveways come off, so they're rear loaded. There's parking for guests, deliveries, whatever. It's off of the public right away. So the minimization of these curb cuts kind of goes to a more urban style design, kind of what you may see in some of the neighborhoods right around downtown. And in those areas, yes, it makes sense. I think it's a design component that can be used, as I said in my staff report. I'm not fully against the smaller lots, but it's certain conditions have to be met if we are going to do that. We've talked about this before, just a few months ago, and now it's put to the test. So, you know, I see the benefit from the city's perspective for these homes to be on their individual lots, and I think it's a design that could lend itself to this type of development. Would I recommend this across the board in any neighborhood? Absolutely not. You know, if we had a bunch of driveways coming off a subdivision street in a green field out there, that doesn't fit. This is the idea behind this type of development does feel it's a more urban style design, and therefore it lends itself to that kind of development. So from those perspectives, I see it. It's a good design. It makes sense. But it is inconsistent with what we've done in the past, and that's why I kind of referenced my recommendation is, you know, to blindly just approve something without some condition or understanding of why, I think would be inappropriate for both planning commission, for staff's recommendations, as well as y'all. And that's why I think these certain conditions, which do exist, do lend itself to that urban style development. I've talked to some of you just kind of with questions on this, and if there's specific questions I can answer on that, I'm happy to do my best. I do think a representative of the applicant is here as well that may be able to help. Get a little static.
Great, thank you, Mr. Varnell. Any questions for Mr. Varnell before we move forward? All right, seeing none. Would anyone like to speak in favor of this request? Please indicate by raising your hand. If you'll state your name for the record, please, sir. Thank you.
Sure. Chris Berry with Berry Properties, Berry Engineers. I believe we've kind of detailed out this request in an email. So mostly here just to answer any questions or concerns that may be related to it. But just know that the design we put out there is really to maximize the view along Hardwick Way, which is, you know, eventually going to be an access road to more, and currently the back entrance to First Baptist Church. And we feel like our development is really focused on that.
Thank you, sir. Any comments or questions for Mr. Berry while he's here? Thank you very much. Is there anyone else who would like to speak in favor of this request? Please indicate by raising your hand. And like sign, is there anyone here who would like to speak in opposition to this request? Please indicate by raising your hand. Seeing none, I will declare this public hearing to be closed. Item C is a public hearing to hear comments concerning a request by the City of Cleveland for consideration of an ordinance to amend PUD 63 along Valley Head Road, amending the unit count maximum from 38 to 50 due to a clerical error, was approved by the Planning Commission 7-0. I'll declare this public hearing to be open. Mr. Varnell, we will hear your report.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That clerical error was done by no other than myself, and so in an effort to clean up that, in the minutes, it's reflective. We talked about the unit count, and I just want to be clear that I made the clerical error, did not change the document that was eventually signed, and that's why we're here today. Just cleaning up something that was supposed to be one thing and it referenced something else. I'm happy to answer any questions if there are any.
Thank you, Mr. Varnell. Any questions for Mr. Varnell? Thank you very much for
Thank
your
you.
report, sir. Glad I'm not the only one that makes mistakes. Anyone like to speak in favor of this request? Please indicate by raising your hand. Like sign, anyone like to speak in opposition to this request? Please indicate by raising your hand. Seeing none, I will declare this public hearing to be closed. Item D is a public hearing to hear public comments concerning the request by the City of Cleveland to amend the Cleveland City Municipal Code Appendix C to add Section 2.4 UR1 Urban Single Family Residential Zoning as a zoning designation and to renumber the affected sections for clarity and consistency, approved by the Planning Commission 7-0. I'll declare this public hearing to be open. Mr. Varnell, your report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We talked about this 2 weeks ago. These are new zoning designations that we're working on creating. They'll primarily be used within our urban core for residential as well as commercial use with the other one. Minimum lot size that mirrors what R2 is presently. It just restricts the type of development, single-family detached homes, without conditional uses and other things having to be achieved. So, if there's specific questions, I'm happy to answer them, but, otherwise, that's the
Thank you, Mr.
gist.
Farnell.
Thank you.
Anyone like to speak in favor of this request for this amendment? Please indicate by raising your hand. Seeing none, anyone wish to speak in opposition, please raise your hand as well. Seeing none, I'll declare this public hearing to be closed. Item E is a public hearing to hear public comments concerning requests by the City of Cleveland for consideration of an ordinance to amend Cleveland City Municipal Code Appendix C to delete the section 2.21 ISE district and replace it with section 2.22 UMUC Urban Mixed Use Corridor Zoning as a zoning designation. It was approved by the Planning Commission 7-0. More explanation from Mr. Varnell. You're recognized.
Thank you. This replaces what's called the Emmons Street East zoning designation, and then creates more opportunity throughout the urban area to where this type of zoning can be used. I actually am very excited about the future of this one, and the type of development we can see from it. Some of the requirements I think will really benefit a lot of our neighborhoods and the standards that it puts forth. So grants good flexibility, and that's needed on a lot of these more urban areas. So if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Thank you, Mr. Varnell. Anyone like to speak in favor of this request? Please
Thank you.
indicate by raising your hand. Seeing none, would anyone like to speak in opposition to this change? Also, like sign. Seeing none, I will declare this public hearing to be closed. That concludes our public hearings for the day. Takes us to item number 7 on the agenda, which is the consent agenda. It was discussed at the 1 o'clock work session and does require a motion from this council.
So moved.
It's a proper motion by Councilman May. Is there a second? Properly seconded by Councilman Estes. Are there any comments, questions, or concerns about the consent agenda? Councilman Goff, did you have a, yeah, please.
I'm gonna recuse myself from the consent agenda vote.
All right, duly noted. It's a proper motion by May, properly seconded by Estes.
Yeah, we got 4.
Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman May.
Aye.
Councilman Estes. Councilwoman McKenzie. Councilman Cassidy.
Aye.
Councilman Moore.
That motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Number 8, unfinished business. There is none today on the 3 o'clock agenda. It takes us to reports of council members. Item number 9, we'll begin with Councilwoman McKenzie. Thank you, Madam. Councilman Estes.
Yeah, well, thanks, Chief Gibson. I know we just declared Captain Harbison's firearm surplus. I just wanted on the record, thank you for putting the reception on for him on Friday, and to hear all the different people to come up and say what they did. They were speaking about Captain Harbison, but they were also speaking about our police department, and just such a diverse group of people from law enforcement across the area. And so thank you for you and your staff for hosting that for him. It was wonderful to hear as an outsider to what you guys do, and I don't want the record just to, I don't want Captain Harbison just to have a sidearm. I want his name in the record as being one of our best, and somebody that deserved all those things that were said of him Friday. So, thank you for doing that. Secondly, try to highlight good things in the second district. I want to talk about Tabitha Maruka and Michelle Goldston. If you have not been by either of the community gardens in the second district, they are amazing, and it is doing exactly what the adjective says. It's making a community to my colleagues. So 16th Street Southeast in Blythe, or the old Benton Pike, where Shepherd comes in between East and Shepherd. Just amazing what's in season right now, and the community's coming out at night and working together. So I know Parks and Rec, I don't see Patty here. I know some of the city, Jonathan, your folks also helped. We had some community city fields. We got out there with wheelbarrows. Yeah, man, it makes you, it's great to be in Cleveland. It's really great to see this. So just want that in the record as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Cassada.
Yes, Mayor, just a couple of things. City of Cleveland, the TLM Achievement Award, we received an email, Joe, on that part, excellence of economic and community development on Emmons Street and Johnson Park. Can you share with the community, Joe, what that award pertains to, if you would, please?
Yeah, we were awarded the best project in Tennessee as far as community development for Johnston Park and Inman Street by TML. They will, at their conference, I believe in August, they will award that. So they haven't actually given it to us yet.
Yes.
In August, they will give that to us, but they put us on notice that we will be receiving that.
And I would like to, I would just like to add,
Make sure you
I hope,
receive that award.
I hope all of the council can join us, because the TML conference will be in Chattanooga this year,
Okay.
which is, they switch grand divisions.
Okay.
So not only did we win the project for the state, but it's literally gonna be given to us in August in Chattanooga, so I would love for the entire council.
Can you provide us a date for that?
I will be happy to do that.
Mayor, second thing is, Chief Gibson, I want to take notice of the officer that saved that drowning child, Officer Jordan Martin on Pleasant Grove Drive. Can you give us a little more information on that, as far as I want to appreciate what I mean, first responders, what they do and put their lives in jeopardy sometimes in saving others.
Yeah, I think, well, that location's in the county, but our officers were, patrolling close to that area and responded out to it in the county. And, Jordan Martin went into the water, and, the mother and the child both had got in the creek that, because of all the rain, is a lot higher than it usually is, and it trapped them underneath it's like a beaver dam.
Yeah.
Pile of wood, and they got trapped underneath it, and they couldn't get out. So they were out there for about 30 minutes before somebody noticed them. Jordan Martin went into the water, was able to pull the child out from underneath the logs that he got hung under, handed it to other officers, and they took him on the shore and started life-saving measures and got him back breathing. But they were also able to get the mother out. So they were able to pull her out as well, because she was trapped under the debris in the creek as well. But
My gosh.
but the big thing is they went into the water without any equipment or anything else, and they responded to a call in the city. It was something they heard and responded out there, and it made a huge difference in the survival of especially the 2-year-old.
Well, Chief, I would pass on my condolences, my congratulations to that individual for stepping out. And for the city too, is when they see a need, we don't put lines out there to divide us as a community. We're out there to support and help communities. We're close by, riding by. And as far as Chief Bates, you're the same way. We got a fire station at B40 on the county. I know there's times have been wrecks out there that they just responded to help out, to work together as a city and a county, and being so close is supporting each other, but absolutely providing safety for all our citizens that's coming in and out of the city. So thank you both for that. Mayor, that's all I have.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman May.
No, on everything.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Goff.
Yeah, I just want to say Paul Huff is looking fantastic. I'm getting a lot of compliments on that. I had noticed that the traffic light at is Bobby Taylor and Broad Street. The green light's been removed going the opposite direction. There were a few left that were still up last week. I didn't get a chance to check today. Is there an update on what they're doing there? I appreciate what's been done so far.
Yeah, since those streetlights are so old, they had to order special equipment, very old equipment. So they're, I think, waiting to either make a new piece that goes on it to
Great, thank you. And the only other thing I had is, had 2 calls this week about the Greenway at 17th Street. It's been growing up for quite a while, and there's a lot of just grass, and I don't know if we can dig that out or not, but even after the rains, it's been well over a week and the water was still coming over the sidewalk under the bridge. So if you go there, you'll see, I mean, grass is probably a couple feet high. And I guess with that being so high, it's pushing the water onto the sidewalk. So if we can look at that and make that.
I wasn't aware of that. We'll take care of that.
I saw, I went and looked at it. You're exactly right. It just needs to be drudged out again.
That's all I got.
All right, Vice Mayor Webb has been excused. Councilman Moore.
Yeah, Robert, maybe you can help me with, so where Inman now goes from 4 to 2 lanes, there's a sign that's right there in front of the gas station that says, "Welcome to historic downtown Cleveland." Who owns that property?
Property is owned by the gas station at that corner.
Can we do something about that? It looks terrible.
Yeah, we've turned in to cite them for the long grass.
Okay, and then maybe cut the power off, or it's just turned into homeless folks are setting up right there.
It's their property.
It is.
We've been actively, we've met several times on trying to purchase that piece of property or to get an easement to take care of it. So we agree with the concern. I think they met a couple weeks on it ago when we give them the documents and the easements and all that stuff. Basically, we're saying, just let us take care of it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, can we follow up with that? It's looking terrible. I mean, there was a lady sitting out there over the weekend that was half naked, charging her cell phone.
Private property.
I know that, but
Yeah.
it looks terrible.
And I'll concur with Councilman Moore. It's private property, but there's been multiple complaints and indecency and trespassing and loitering, and there's a lot of things that we can do to enforce that kind of behavior.
It's not trespassing if they are there.
Well, I'll go back to indecency. Because that's the second report of people unclothed bathing in a public street, so it's bad.
Like I said, we've been actively trying to resolve the issue for about a year now.
Great. All right. Anything else, Councilman Moore?
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. All right, I've had, as mayoral appointments, I've had 2 resignations recently from the Planning Commission. Dr. Tiffany Sherlin will be relocating, she and her family, to another city. We wish her well. And Mr. Jamie Creekmore has taken a new position with another electric company, not Cleveland Utilities, and he is stepping down from the Planning Commission as well. And those mayoral appointments, applications from Miss Bonnie Cretton of Cleveland and Mr. Walt Vineyard of Cleveland Utilities. And we have submitted those to be the replacements on the Planning Commission. All right, that takes us to new business. Unless there's anything else from the members of the council?
Mayor, we have already planning, somebody from CU on the planning commission?
That was the Mr. Walt Vineyard.
Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry.
No, it's good. All right, takes us to item 10, which is new business. Item 10A, zoning ordinance 2025-33, concerning request by Benny Castillo for consideration of an ordinance to zone 6.65 acres of property at Old Tassa Road from R2 low density, single family to PUD 66. It was approved 7-0.
So moved.
It's a proper motion by Councilman May. Is there a second?
Second.
Properly seconded by Councilman Moore. Any comments, questions, or concerns from the council? Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman May.
Aye.
Councilman Moore. Councilwoman McKenzie. Councilman Estes.
Aye.
Councilman Cassada.
Aye.
Councilman Goff.
Aye.
It carries 6-0.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. That motion passes. Item B is a zoning ordinance 2025-34 concerning request by Berry Properties LLC to amend PUD 46 to allow 34-foot wide minimum for rear loading lots for Hardwick Way, a minimum lot size of 3,100 square feet. Does require a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Proper motion by Councilman Goff, properly seconded by Councilman Cassada. Any comments, questions, or concerns from the council? Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Goff,
Aye.
Councilman Cassada,
Aye.
Councilwoman McKenzie, Councilman Estes,
So, I'm sorry, I didn't get my comments in time. I was thinking, Robert, I know you looked for precedent on this, and I know this is precedent. Because this is rear loading, it makes perfect sense. Otherwise, not at 30. So, aye.
Councilman May,
Aye.
Councilman Moore.
Aye.
Carries 6-0.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. That motion passes. Item C, a motion concerning a request by multiple property owners for consideration of an ordinance to zone 22 acres of property located at William Street from R1 Single Family Residential to PUD, Planned Unit Development Zoning District. Was a applicant has amended their site plan and has requested the item to be sent back to the Planning Commission for review. It would require a motion from this council.
So moved.
Second.
Proper motion by Councilman May, seconded by Councilman Goff. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman May,
Aye.
Councilman Goff,
Aye.
Councilwoman McKenzie, Councilman Estes,
Aye.
Councilman Cassada,
Aye.
Councilman Moore. That carries 6-0.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. That motion passes. That is the last item under new business announcements. The City of Offices of Cleveland will be closed Friday, July the 4th in observance of Independence Day, which means our next city council meeting will be held on Monday, July the 14th. Are there any additional comments, questions from the council? Seeing none, we are adjourned. 3:30.
Not bad.